How is a strong nation built? This is a question that has echoed through the corridors of history for millennia. Why do some societies enjoy lasting peace, while others are trapped in a perpetual cycle of violent conflict and chaos? At the heart of these questions lies a fundamental inquiry. Is human nature inherently good, or must it be disciplined to thrive? 2,500 years ago, three great Chinese philosophers offered profound and distinct answers to these very questions. Sunzi analyzed human nature, Mozi spoke of universal love, and Han Feizi mastered the principles of a strong, centralized state. The insights of these three thinkers remain remarkably relevant today as we seek to understand the structure of our modern world. The 4th century BC was an era of immense upheaval in China, a period we now call the Warring States. Dozens of kingdoms competed for dominance, leading to endless wars that devastated cities and brought immense suffering. Kings fought desperately to keep their power, while nobles plotted in the shadows to seize control for themselves. As morality and social order crumbled, philosophers began to ponder the root causes of this systemic failure and violence. Zunzi provided a deeply realistic answer. He refused to beautify human nature, choosing instead to analyze it coldly. Zunzi argued that human nature is not inherently good. We are born with innate desires that drive our actions. When we are hungry, we want to eat. When we see something beautiful or valuable, we naturally wish to possess it. Desire itself is not evil, but the problem arises when these desires are left entirely unchecked and out of control. If humans follow only their impulses, the strong will inevitably take from the weak, plunging society into total chaos. Those who already hold power will only crave more, leading to a breakdown of any meaningful social contract or peace. Therefore, Zunzi concluded that humans do not improve on their own. We become better only through rigorous education and training. He used the metaphor of curved wood. To make it straight, one must apply heat and force to correct its natural shape. Human nature is the same. Through learning and discipline, we can transform ourselves and align with a higher moral standard. This process of transformation allows individuals to move beyond their primal instincts and contribute to a stable society. Mozi approached the problem from a different angle. He looked for the root of conflict in how we choose to love. He said the chaos of the world stems from the fact that our love is discriminatory and limited to our own circles. People love their own families but do not care for others. They protect their own nation but view others as enemies. This partial love is precisely what fuels war and conflict, as we prioritize our own well-being over the common good. To solve this, Mozi proposed the philosophy of Jian'ai, or universal love, a love that knows no boundaries or distinctions. It means we must respect and care for the families of others just as we would care for our own flesh and blood. Mozi was not just a theorist, he was an activist who traveled across kingdoms to stop wars from breaking out. Records say he once walked for 10 days straight to persuade a king to abandon an unprovoked attack on another state. His message was simple yet powerful. As our circle of love and empathy expands, the grounds for conflict naturally diminish. Then came Han Feizi, who saw a different reality. He analyzed human society with a cold, piercing objectivity. He argued that a strong nation is not built on the inherent goodness of people, but on a clear understanding of self-interest. Humans, he believed, are fundamentally driven by their own interests and the pursuit of rewards or avoidance of punishment. Relying solely on morality to govern a state is insufficient. A ruler needs more than just virtuous intentions to succeed. Han Feizi explained three essential elements for a strong state: law, power, and the technique of governance. The first is law, or fa. Laws must be clearly written and applied equally to everyone without exception or favor. This consistency ensures that every citizen knows the consequences of their actions, creating a predictable and orderly environment. The second is power, or shu. True authority must stem from the system and its offices, not just from a person. By rooting power in the institution itself, the state maintains stability and command even when individual leaders change. The third is technique, or shi. This involves the methods used to monitor, evaluate, and control government officials. Every official's performance must be strictly measured against their duties, ensuring that the machinery of state runs with precision. These legalist principles had a massive impact, helping the Qin dynasty unify China for the very first time in history. The state's ability to mobilize resources and people on such a scale was a direct result of Han Feizi's rigorous philosophy. While their methods differed, these three sages shared a fundamental truth: society does not improve by accident. Progress requires conscious effort, whether through personal discipline, the expansion of love, or the design of fair systems. We learn from Xunzi that individual growth starts with self-discipline and the willingness to learn and transform ourselves. Mozi teaches us that social conflict is reduced only when we find the courage to extend our love beyond our own borders. And Han Feizi reminds us that a strong organization is built upon the foundation of impartial laws and effective governance. These philosophers, living 25 centuries ago, already understood the complex nature of human interaction and power. Their wisdom serves as a guide, helping us navigate the challenges of our own time with greater clarity and purpose. In conclusion, a strong nation is the result of people who grow through discipline, love through empathy, and lead through justice. When the law is just, when love is broad, and when the individual is refined, the foundation of a nation becomes unbreakable. This is why the philosophy of the ancient sages remains as vital today as it was during the age of the Warring States. Thank you for joining us in exploring these timeless lessons on human nature and the building of a strong, enduring nation. Explore further with topics like Xiak, Han Feizi, Xiak, ancient philosophy, and political science to deepen your understanding. Reflect also on legalism, human nature, and the concept of a strong nation as you consider our shared future. Search for Han Feizi, political philosophy, Xunzi, human nature, or Mozi, universal love for scholarly analysis. Also look into legalism in Qin dynasty, history of warring states, and ancient Chinese statecraft for more depth. This content was brought to you by Jongmoon Co., known as James Co., an academic doctor and author dedicated to these fields. For inquiries or collaborations, please reach out via email at k903911198@gmail.com. We welcome your feedback. We look forward to sharing more insights from the vast treasure trove of ancient wisdom in our future presentations. Farewell.